Hello, hello. Welcome back. I am so sorry. I think my camera went off having some tech challenges here, but we were just about to take the doodles that we were doing all about the nervous system, and I was sharing with you why I love doing the watercolor and adding watercolor to my doodles for a couple of reasons. One is it allows you to go over what you've just done, and not just one time, allowing your brain to take it in. But now I'm going to add color to it. I'm going to go through and really spend some time with each doodle, allowing my body and my nervous system to take in what I've just drawn. The other thing that I love, you can use markers, you can use crayons, you can use pencil crayons, you can use any color. But the other thing that I love with watercolor is I love being able to not be perfect with it. Watercolor tends to bleed, and watercolor tends um, to spread out and to not be able to um, you know, be confined and be perfect. So that's what I like to do. I also like to, as I said with earlier, my brilliant little self, I have her always in kind of the same outfit. And then there's this familiarity of these are the colors that I use. And my nervous system also gets an idea of familiarity, and familiarity actually is a message of safety to your nervous system. So I invite you to just go through and add some color. Add some color to what you are doing. Um, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just adding to it. And if it bleeds over things, that's not a problem. That's not a big deal. You can just go through. And the other thing, as I shared, is sometimes our doodles, we may be, kind of judgmental about the doodles that we do. Oh, this is not, um, I don't know what doodle I could use to represent certain things. So, for example, I'm not really sure of what doodle I would do to represent lost. But down here, I have the word lost. But, if I take it and just I'm going to put some color in, a darker color. Yeah, that kind of feels like I'm lost in the sea or am spinning downward. I do like this idea of also, spinning downward. There's a different color there, a different energy versus up top. I have my spinning, which when I'm spinning up here, it's more of the red hues and the orange, which to me represent kind of more movement. So just allowing yourself to just play with the colors. Maybe you want to just paint over or color over the words. So again, it doesn't have to be that you have a very specific doodle. We can just allow ourselves to just play around and let your hands, this is what we talked about, this idea of using your body um, to communicate safety. As I'm doing some, looking at um, some of these doodles that I have and spending time with them and just slowing down to do the watercolors, I am sending my nervous system a signal of safety. Because if I wasn't safe, I wouldn't be able to stop and do this. And I'm talking my way through this, but if I were on my own, I might decide to put some music on, or I might decide to just stay quiet and just let my mind stop worrying and spinning and start just focusing on, okay, what colors do I want to do? And maybe like I'm doing, I kind of feel like jumping around, that I'm going to different parts of my doodle. You don't have to do it that way. You can just do one section at a time if you'd like. So just filling it in, again, letting it bleed out. These are all different ways for you to allow creativity. Sometimes there's creativity in color. There's creativity in the kind of texture that you use. What colors for you represent more of a hyper state? Can you have a blending of colors? Maybe you look at it and again, see how it doesn't have to fit in the lines. And for me, there's a lot of reds and oranges. I'm just going to add that. That's sort of my pow. A little bit of yellows even to lighten it up. Almost like fire, because fire, that could be another symbol that you put. Fire can be very representative. So spend the time allowing yourself to just follow what comes up. What colors do you want? How do you want to do it? Even the tapping and the movement of the brush. I'm using a very small brush here, but you can just do bigger colors, or like I said, crayons or pencil crayons, all these things. And as you can continue along, you can start to see how it takes shape. And you can start to see what your nervous system is like. How is your nervous system being represented? Does it feel like it's being represented? What colors represent it? And you can see, is there any pattern? A pattern that you have with your colors. And so continue on. I really encourage you to spend that little bit of time doing this kind of extra step. This also makes it a little bit more likely that you'll put it up for yourself to see. I love having this, and especially the doodle that we'll do in next time. I love having this hanging in my office so I can remind myself when I'm feeling maybe frustrated, or when I'm feeling overwhelmed or angry, or, oh, okay, I'm just in hyper. It's not that there's anything wrong with me. That's just the zone that I'm in. And it's okay to be in the zone. This is all part of my nervous system. My nervous system is always trying to communicate with me. And it's always trying to help me. So really encourage you to continue doing this. I appreciate you being here and sticking out with even all my tech challenges. It is always dysregulating when something goes wrong with the tech. But tomorrow, or the next session that we do, we are going to talk a little bit more about creativity. And we are also going to talk about and doodle, not just talk, because it is about the nervous system. We need to be doing things. We're going to be doodling a calm toolkit. And this is going to be, what are some ways that you can use to help yourself get back into calm and safety. People are asking different things to use. Can you use crayons? Can you use markers? Can you use chalk? You can use anything. That's what creativity is. You can just use pencils. You can just use pencil crayons. I love watercolor for, like I said, I love that it bleeds everywhere. I love the feel of the paintbrush. And I realized not so long ago, I also love it because it's an activity that I did as a kid. I did it with my grandmother. She was a very safe person for me. And so it's an activity that brings me back there. So yeah, crayons, colors, you can play around with whatever you want. What I was showing earlier is I just have a set, get it off Amazon for, it's a children's set, and just grab a couple of brushes, and there's different things that you can use, crayons, markers, all sorts of things. Really invite you, though, to add color because, as you can see, just holding this up, it really does make a difference. It makes it more memorable. It allows me the extra time to review it and really think about what it is that I'm painting in. So tomorrow we will continue. thank everybody for being here, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.